Hi, my name is Jake, I'm an estimator, and today I'm going to talk about my experiences with depression and anxiety. It was about 5 years ago, and I had immediate family issues, so my sister and my parents fell out. I felt like I was the mediator between the situation, but because I just started university, I was 100 miles away and I couldn't really be there in person. Everything I was doing was by phone or by text, and I just didn't feel like I was there. Well, I felt that they sorted themselves out really, and that I could sort of like keep it in the back of my mind and just carry on going. And then, but it didn't really sort itself out. It just kept going on for about a year, and it started to make me feel really anxious about what's going on with my family. So I've always been like a slightly anxious person anyway, so sort of, if I can walk somewhere instead of getting the bus, I'll walk instead of having to go onto the bus and ask for a bus ticket. Even now in work, if I want to ask for help, I'll sort of like wait 10 minutes or see if I can sort it out myself before asking straight away. And so it's just things like that. So my anxiety got worse. Stopped wanting to talk to people or go to my lectures or play hockey, and it was making me a lot more isolated than I'd usually be. Because I felt really unmotivated to do things, I'd spend a lot of the time just in my room all day doing nothing, sat by myself. And then it would get to about the end of the day, all my friends were going out, and I thought, I've got to leave the house at some point today. What a better way to do it, have some pints and chat to my mates at the same time. It's helped me make friends to an extent. Like I could make them anyway, but then it sort of formed a closer bond between them. But at the same time, I was doing it for the wrong reasons. So when it got close to my exams and all my friends, they were then spending the evening studying, I was still wanting to go out, wanting to drink, and sort of like clicked in my head a bit that I was doing it to escape and not to have a good time. I would not want to talk to people, so instead of finding ways to avoid social interactions was a big thing. So if my housemates were in the kitchen and I wanted to eat, I'd just not eat, because there's a big thing for me, like being in a low mood and going in there, and then I just didn't want to talk to them. Not because I didn't like them, but just because I was in such a bad mood and felt really bad, and I thought that I'd probably break down if they started talking to me about anything. So I'd still go to all like the trainings and the games and social events and stuff, but that was more just to sort of show my face, and so that people wouldn't then start asking, what's wrong with Jake? He's not been to training for 2 weeks. He just shows up to the games and go home. He doesn't go out. And so putting on like a brave face and just getting on with it. Because if I don't go to lectures, nobody in my course really knew me, so it wouldn't really matter if I showed up or not, because no one really asked any questions. And a lot of people at uni don't go to lectures anyway, but there was an expectation of me to go to these training sessions, and I didn't want people to ask me questions like, are you okay? Because then I didn't really want them to know because I thought that they'd have a bad perception of it. It was about a year later, and I thought that I almost accepted that this is who I am. Like, I'm gonna feel bad, I'm gonna be anxious, I'm gonna be a bit depressed. But I thought that my grades were okay. I thought I was drinking because like everyone was doing it, I was just joining in on social things. But then when I failed my second year at university, I then realised that I actually have a problem and I need to sort it out. I spoke to my parents about it and they were really supportive. I told them like how I'd been feeling. They completely understood, which I'm very grateful for. And so went to the GP and explained to them like how I'd been feeling. It was, first of all, was I enjoying the things that I've been doing? And then I mentioned to them that I played hockey and that why I've been going to hockey is because I did enjoy it to an extent. Like, it was good to go out and hit some balls, but at the same time, I was like doing it just to keep up appearances, and so that people didn't ask questions. And at the same time, when I was going out drinking, not because I was enjoying it, but to escape from it all. They also asked if I'd been thinking about self-harm or suicide, and I didn't have any feelings like that, but there's more feelings of not wanting to be here and am I a burden on society, all that kind of stuff. And so would it matter if I wasn't here? They asked if I wanted to either take a medication route or a counselling route, and I, being the anxious person I am, I thought I want to go on medication because it's a lot easier than going into a counselling session and talking to someone and explaining all your problems. And I did realise that there was, when you're taking medication and starting it, there's a dip in your mood before it gets better. So you'll feel worse anyway, and all of a sudden you'll start to feel worse. But there was a sort of effect in the back of my mind that I realised that I'm doing something about my mental health, and it made me feel better. It's like I said, so I didn't really notice like the dip in my mood because people that knew that I was on medication were supportive of me and saying, really proud of you for doing it. And after that sort of like period was over, I then just started feeling better, like going out when I wanted to go out, not to escape, but to have a good time with my friends, and being more involved within my hockey club, not just keeping up appearances, like actually putting in effort. I think about a year or so later, I'd sort of like dipped again and I had a really bad day, and I thought that it was a bank holiday Monday and I was going onto campus and I thought I really needed to get some help. And so on the way to the welfare offices, I had to go to the toilets to cry. I went there and it was closed, and I spoke to the porters there and I said, "Are they in?" He said, "No, it's bank holiday Monday, not there." And so then I went to the toilet and cried after that. And then I got home and I think I just cried again. But then the next day I did the same again, they were in. So it was just a really good idea to speak to someone about it and realising that I needed help. I think what didn't help is that I've been drinking as well. So I had like 2 nights in a row out, so it's a bit dangerous anyway. So you're bound to feel bad. But then, and it's just more I didn't want to rely on antidepressants, want to be able to come off those and be able to, if I do have a bad day, be able to think about it logically and sort of like put it behind me and deal with it and carry on with my day, be fine. Yeah, it definitely helped me. So my counsellor was really nice, really relatable to it. I think one of the sessions, it was the World Cup was on. I think it was just like had the game on in the background while I was going through therapy. So it wasn't daunting when I was going in. I was almost like, after like the first session, I was then looking forward to going in and knowing that I was doing something positive about my mental health. And so what it helped me do is, when I do have these feelings of anxiety or depression, then understanding why I'm feeling this way, and if you have a plan and it changes because someone has something else on, it's not because of you, it's probably because they've got something else on. And because I had anxiety, I thought, oh, it's all about me in sort of the negative ways. So like, they don't want to see me, then I don't, like, what's the point? And so now if I feel like that, I just think about it logically and just thinking like, they're just a little bit too busy for me right now, and you just sort of accept that. I'm a lot better. I'm a lot more myself, like how I used to be. I was talking to my housemate the other night, and he said that he's very happy that I'm now come home after work in the evenings, and I enjoy myself. I'm having a good time. I don't have to sink 4 cans of Aldi lager. I can just sit there with a cup of tea and be happy. I'd say definitely talk to people. So I realised that the more friends that I spoke to about it, the more they were also going through hard times as well, and then you can relate to them and you realise that you're not alone. And if you want to help your friends, then they'll want to help you as much as you do. So if you imagine that you lost one of your friends and you could have done something about it, that's how they're going to feel if they lose you.